it's not the awakening, it's not the right word. Subconsciously his soul is pivoting him towards what needs to happen, activating a bit of a spark of that divine masculine that he is not near ready to start to embody, but to feel into certain things that he will have to do. But he is denying the connection. And the reason I was, talking to you about the huge difference between passion and lust, and how it's part of their journey to understand that difference, that being on as a clarification, denying the connection, is that he would be saying to himself, it's just attraction. It's just attraction. It's probably just attraction. Forbidden fruit, I'm hearing. So maybe he actually thinks that the reason he's so attracted to you is because he is with someone else, and he thinks, again, what did I say right in the beginning? It's just excuses. It's not true. But he would say that we can't be together. So it's maybe that's why it's so exciting. That's what they say to themselves. That it's exciting because it's new, that it's exciting because it's forbidden, that it's exciting because it's not going to happen. But, once I separate myself from her, I will just forget. And again, surprise, surprise, what happens? The more we heal, the more we surrender, the more we let go, it's their turn to experience. It's their turn. We cannot do this, and I've covered this in my masterclass. We cannot embark on this journey of deep self-discovery together because we're one soul. It would be too overwhelming. We heal the feminine first, we regulate the feminine first, and then when we start to cross that bridge and this journey starts to turn into something that is for us, for our empowerment, for our excitement, right? We become the center focus of this journey for ourselves. We give them energetic space as that lighthouse to then start to do the work of them. So until we reach that point, they're going to be deeply in the matrix, in the karma, in the lust, in the destructions, and it has to happen. So they learn. Yeah, look at that. This is intense, you guys. This is intense because we have that card of the soul, right? And then we have the divine masculine, and then we have the emperor, which is divine masculine as well. I think there's something coming to my mind. Hold on, I want to do the whole line. Okay, we have some powerful cards. There's something being activated. Most of these are major arcanas. Only Six of Wands is not a major arcana. There's something very divine activated within his heart. It would be deeply subconscious. He's not realizing it. I'm hearing divine intervention. So perhaps you have been in this in and out madness a very long time, for quite too long. And it's time to, again, choices, right? So remember what I said to you. We are free. We have free will. There are milestones on our timeline that connect us, that are supposed to connect us to the highest, most abundant timeline. So when that milestone happens, it's like our spirit guides, our ancestors, our higher selves will be looking over us and really like, go there, go there, go there, don't do it, right? So we really make it right. It's those moments of more intense guidance, more intense. It's like we're doing things that we don't even know what we're doing. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I don't know why I did it, right? Because we're being pushed towards it, and in between we're really allowed to have free will. But then in those moments of milestone, yes, we're going to be pushed more. Yes, there's going to be some sort of a soul frequency activated within us, the divine orchestration, but we can resist till the day right, that we shed this physical body. This is why we do it so many times, because the bodies are very resistant. The egos are very resistant. They're fearful. They're scared. They're scared to let go. Do you know the myth of the Sedna, that she was so scared to let go, that she was holding on to that boat, that her father had to like slap her fingers to make her let go? It feels like the worst thing, but sometimes we're just holding on. And so again, ultimately, it is a choice of both, but sometimes we don't really see it. It's the masculine that is stronger without him knowing in that moment to let go. I feel there is some sort of a divine activation within his heart of that coding I'm hearing of divine masculine. Again, it would be subconscious, he wouldn't notice it, that he knows that certain things have to stop. That if you really, we have divine feminine, have the empress and the emperor, if you really are, that's what he would be feeling. If we really are meant to be together, we will return to each other when the time will be right. Because in his little naive mind and heart, he thinks that it's the time that is not right. Time is never right, and time is always right because we choose to make the time right. And it's the whole journey of the masculine. Years of this journey, years of separation, for one day for him to wake up and realize there is no date. I say that today is the day. As a divine masculine, the architect, the builder of the physical world, I say that today is the day that I claim my woman. There is no day until you say that the day is the day. Do you understand? But he doesn't know that. He thinks again that we're like, that there's a puppet master and we're puppets in the hands of cruel fate, right? So if it's meant to be, now it's too much. You deserve more. He has to let that go. It's almost like you bring him such inexplicable fulfillment, joy, and happiness of the heart, which is actually what happens. That standing in front of you, that to him energetically, it's like the brightest and the most beautiful flower. He feels like it's the beauty and the beast energy. It's such a cliche, but the divine love, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. They see themselves as the beast. They're going to touch us, they're going to break us, they're going to hurt us, they're not worthy. Right? Okay. Let's do intention. Let's do intention. Let's do his intention. Let's spread. Okay. Center of his spread, denial. Denial. He's denying the connection. He's denying the connection. He's denying the connection. We do have commitment. That's his first card. We do have commitment. So somewhere deep down, he would want to commit, I feel. He would want to commit. It's just that he thinks, there's a reason. This is one of the first things that I said to you. And one of the first things that came to me when I opened a channel. He thinks, you both think, that it's just external things. Right? Third party, because things are just not going the way you want to, because he's seeing someone, because there are some obstacles, because you cannot be together. In reality, there are only two obstacles. One is you, the other one is him. Nothing else. Nothing else can stand in between love but the two people. And that's one of the key lessons of this journey. Us as souls, we choose this journey to learn that, to teach that to others. So deep down, he would want to commit. He would want to commit. I'm hearing that he thinks that you complete him, which is not the right way to think, because we don't complete anyone. And what do I always educate you guys about? The lone wolf, the solar plexus strength. But he is in denial. And we have shame and we have loneliness. We have shame and we have loneliness. And it's funny because it's like the shadow and the light on both sides. I feel like despite the fact that you are this light and you are this hope and you are this completion, and he sees you and you're this joyful little sun. I'm hearing maybe some flowers are significant for some of you, they have a meaning for some of you, but in the same time, this light of you in comparison to his darkness makes his darkness more painful, because remember, we are the ultimate reflection, right? We are the ultimate reflection. So when we go inwards to discover ourselves, what they call healing, right? When we found and discover our wholeness, that we were whole all along, and we get into union, we enhance each other's light. We make each other better. We give each other more courage, more joy, right? Because we've alchemized this thing inwards. We have them. We hold the frequency. The alone wolves, we hold the frequency on our own. This is why when we get into union, we are able to amplify that for each other. But in the beginning, because we stand in a place of ego, we amplify the ego. So ultimately, whatever you see in your counterpart is a reflection of you. So on this journey, we're going to be going back and forth. There are going to be days and moments when we're going to be seeing our counterpart on a pedestal as the most amazing creature on the face of all the planets, right? But then there are going to be days that we're going to be seeing the darkness. Like, how can he be doing this to me? How can she be? She's that and he's that. Without us realizing that both are not good and both are a reflection, right? So the beauty we see within them is the beauty that we hold but we cannot recognize, right? So through the eyes of our counterpart, they are helping us to cultivate that self-love, because usually it's through the floor when we start this journey. So what we see in them is what we embody without us knowing. They're so funny, they're so interesting, they're so smart, they have this curious mind, they're so beautiful, all the things that exist within us, because we're one. One soul, one frequency, one consciousness, one chakra system, forever connected. One in two bodies, soul that chose deeper separation and chose to go into two bodies, right? So we see that. But there are moments when we see darkness, when we like, how can he be avoiding me? How can he be denying this connection? How can she be this and that? And right? And we judge them without us knowing that it is always, again, a reflection of us, because we're judging ourselves. We're one. We're one. We're one. And I often highlight this to my beautiful divine feminists. How can you be saying that he's behind a little bit in the physical, because time is just an illusion and we're sort of a multi-dimension, and as feminines, we're multi-dimensional beings that travel on a daily basis. We connect to different timelines energetically, right? We have visions, we sort of, right? That's why it seems, but we're one. What behind are you talking about? The ego maybe a little bit, right? Because we started before, because we had to, because we're the lighthouse. But other than that, so how we see them is always a reflection. So although he sees you on one hand, right, through you he sees his darkness, and all that is being highlighted now is shame because of lack of self-love. I feel that this self-love is going to be a tricky thing for, this for you to power through, but you will have to focus on that as a key thing. How the hell do I love myself? Critical junctures, taking a big leap, major decisions affecting the outcome, turning points. There is a change, there is a shift coming in. Aquarius, maybe one of you is Aquarius, and we have Capricorn as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Aquarius people, to be honest. I feel they're very cold, but they have a good side as well, all of them. And balancing. Okay, let me read through them. I acted like I didn't care, but I did. I just needed my time. Yeah, there's this energy. This is why I said coldness. It's always an illusion, because he is in denial. Aquarius, Aquarius can be, maybe cold is not the right word. Aquarius can be quite detached, quite nonchalant, quite, right? Flighty, detached, aloof, rebellious, unpredictable, restless. Yeah. But it can also be independent, progressive, intelligent, unique, idealistic, artistic. Bizarre little people, right? On the side of light can be magical. But we have a card of shift and change. We had a card of knowledge. We had this card of, right, detachment. We have Capricorn, focus on my career. I'm feeling that we're doing intentions, right? We had 38 as well. It's the second card we have with this Libra, so maybe there's a Libra as well energy. I'm trying to balance the scales of my life, of our connection. I took more than you were able to give, and I used it for my own benefit. Yeah, there's something within him that is changing. We've mentioned this before, right? So intention. There's something within him that is starting to understand that, what the hell am I doing? She's this beautiful person, amazing person. I feel this, and I'm just taking advantage. I'm not able to offer. I'm not planning to offer anything right now. I cannot, right? He doesn't understand why. So he needs to balance that. I feel he's gonna get more, and whether you're gonna immediately go into separation, something's gonna happen. It may be different. Again, collective readings. This is why I always say, if we want more for those kind of connections, for those kind of a deep journey, one-to-one sessions to really focus on your growth, not just what's coming, because that's really irrelevant, because we choose what's coming. Again, it's such a deep misconception. Tarot, divination, it's not about what's going to come. Who's going to know what's going to come? Like, you people are reckless. How could I know? I could be like the biggest psychic and sorcerer on the face of the planet. The maximum I can tell you is tomorrow, and then the next day you're gonna get triggered and you're gonna get reckless on me. So you're uncontrollable, right? This is why the more we grow on this journey, and I highlight this to you guys often, the more we grow on this journey, the more we connect to the soul, the more we go inwards to understand how much we operate on an autopilot of the ego, right? We sort of dematerialize options of our timelines that still exist in the quantum field, but we dematerialize them, and we ultimately connect to that one highest timeline. So the more we sort of grow on this journey, the easier it is to predict, but at this point you need no predictions. You're in a complete state of surrendering. You only want to know the shadows and the guidance, right? But in the beginning, people who tend to want predictions, you're unpredictable. You're unpredictable. Again, you're like little toddlers, right? So if you have a mature, adult, grown-up person and something happens, if I know human nature, I don't need to be psychic. I can tell you what they're going to do. It's the logical thing to do, right? But when you have a little toddler, like, who knows what's he going to do? Who knows where is he going to run? He's unpredictable. He's uncontrollable. He's following the ego autopilot, right? So who knows what's going to get triggered? So again, I'm not feeling into specifically when it's going to happen, but there's something that is being pushed and showed within him, that there is a change of direction, that more knowledge of self, of life, obviously it's subconscious, needs to be acquired. There's going to be some form of detachment. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started, again, those scenes of telenovela, they're showing me like moments when in his heart he actually wants to save you, so he does something stupid or cruel, so you move. Like the men loves to operate like that, because they don't have the gut when they're out of balance to sit down and say this is over, because, right? So they just act like, right, in a very low vibrational way, so we move away and we take that decision, and it's often what happens. Now then, another question is whether my reckless little toddler is going to actually have the strength to take that decision, and in the face of the coldness and the detachment and the change of energy, be able to really choose, I'm going to love myself right now. Let's just confirm with tarot. Interesting. Okay, I hear it. I hear it. Alright. Alright, two more. Is this one or two? One. Yet again. Yet again. I'm kind of hearing something, but I don't even want to say it. One more. I've really been loving this deck so much. I bought it and I wasn't like really, and now it's all I use. Okay, I feel intentions. He is in this moment, in the center of the spread. We have denial and we have Wheel of Fortune, right? So he is denying the connection. He is denying what is destiny. Again, we talked about this. He is denying that destiny is not something that just happens. We have to be the creator. We have to be the one that chooses which destiny, which destined path we're going to connect to. Right? But he now is more on the side of rootless, cruel fate, and we're the victim here, right? So he believes that if it's really meant to be, it will be. It will be. But right now, this connection is starting to cause more and more of a burden within him, right? Because there's a lot of shadow. There's a lot of unaddressed gunk. There's a lot of things behind the subconscious mind that he's not facing, and they are being reflected in every word that you say, in every gesture that you do, and everything. And we're just, again, those sharp mirrors. And there's a moment on this journey when, especially the masculines, but sometimes the feminines, sometimes both, but masculines tend to do that. They get upset. It's like they almost, it's never like the negative, but it is a little bit like, who does she think she is? How does she do this? How does she? Because it's all reflection, what I'm not seeing. So I feel like he will take a bit of a decision to shift, to change the course of that connection. He would be in awareness that it's not reciprocated. He may not ever admit that in any kind of conversation. He might not admit that out loud to himself, but he is in understanding on some subconscious level that it's not working the way it's supposed to work, that it's not reciprocated, that I'm hearing that he doesn't even know how to give. I'm hearing that he may be thinking that he's a little doomed to be lonely. He can be in a connection, in a 3D connection, but he would be lonely. And I feel, again, I've said this already, that having something in front of you that you desire and you want, but you feel you cannot have, and you don't understand that it's just you. It's just you and your decisions. It's not the cruelty of fate. It's painful. It's painful. All right. I hope this was helpful. I hope you will find the strength to focus on self-love. We've covered so many things in this reading, so you should have a good start, whether you're someone who, you do work with a mentor and a healer. And you know what I say, if you truly are on a divine journey, you should. It's not that we need anything external, but in the beginning we're lost. We need guidance. We need someone that will help us. And it's a circle of life. We're students and then we become masters. It's the generational knowledge that we pass on. We are sovereign. We are individuals. We hold the ultimate inner truth coming from source that applies to our lives within us, yes, but we also are a part of whole. We have to learn to hold space for each other, to lean on each other, to use each other's wisdom, experience, knowledge, reflection. So on a journey that is on a in a spectrum of, you know, growth of a soul, this is a pro journey. This, we're talking about final lifetimes, we're talking about a gateway towards walking the path of Christ consciousness. It's an amazing journey. It's a challenging journey. It's a gift of a journey. And again, if you watch me, know that my belief is that twins that are activated to the journey, the highest, most abundant timeline for both of them, it's union. It's a life of happiness, fulfillment, abundance together. Paradise, heaven on earth. But we are the masters of our destiny, not victims of fate. We have to choose. And both feminine and masculine have to realize that on that journey. Feminine for realizing that if I don't love myself first, if I don't look towards God and destiny first, but towards the earthly masculine, I will never get nowhere on this journey. And the masculine has to realize that it's not the faith, it's not, you know, written in the stars, it is me. It is me. One day he'll be ready to say, today is the day. And I don't care what anyone says, today is the day. All right. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you soon.